What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we finally have another nail gun video for you guys, and this one ought to be good because for the very first time in nail gun video history, I'm dual wielding. So we have two different nail guns for today's video, the Ramset powder actuated nail gun that we've used in previous videos, and the Bauer battery operated nail gun. And this video idea really came to me from action movies like Lethal Weapon 2, the Equalizer, and quite a few others where they use nail guns just like these to take down bad guys. And it looks awesome. Now, I recently picked this one up because it is battery powered, and I assume a lot more common and what most people have laying around their house, so that we can compare what is probably one of the weaker nail guns out there to something a lot more powerful like the powder actuated nail gun. In Lethal Weapon 2, I think he used a gas powered nail gun, but I looked this up, and in the Equalizer, Denzel Washington is actually using a powder actuated nail gun. It's kind of hard to see because it's all dark and rainy, of course, but it makes sense because you can see him cocking it one-handed like a bad MF as he's walking around taking down bad guys and saving his buddy. So what we're gonna do is test these nail guns on a ballistic dummy lab human torso and see if something like this could be used in a pinch for self-defense and possibly save your life like it does in the movies. Or are they lying to us? And by the way, because I know a lot of people will ask, we do have an air-powered or a pneumatic nail gun as well, but it's just an 18 gauge brad nailer, just like the battery-powered gun. But there are some very powerful gas and air-powered nail guns. I just don't have any. All right, guys, let's move on to the nail guns versus human torso test, since that's probably what you're all here to see. So again, this is a human torso from Ballistic Dummy Lab, and we've done quite a few videos with these. They are probably my favorite thing on planet Earth to do experiments with. It is an anatomically correct human torso with sternum, ribs, heart, lungs, stomach, liver, spleen, intestines, everything you would see in a real human body, and it is surrounded by ballistics gel. And unfortunately for this one, we might have to keep it laying on the table. I wanted to use my torso stand, but since you have to press these nail guns into the target, it might be best if we just leave it laying down. And by the way, we do have a discount code with ballisticdummylab.com, so if you want to get some of this stuff for yourself, use the code ONESHOTTV at checkout and you will get a discount. Now, before we do this, I just want to clarify, I would never recommend a nail gun for self-defense. This is obviously just for fun and to see if action movies are inaccurate. Of course, a firearm would always be the best choice for a self-defense tool, but you never know what kind of situations life will throw at you. And if you had a nail gun and needed one to save your life, would it work? Let's find out. We'll go ahead and try the battery-powered nail gun first, since it is the least powerful of the two. And I got this torso for a body armor video, and then the nail gun thing was just an afterthought. So I'm gonna try to preserve as much of it as I can. I'm gonna put it right on the sternum so it has to go through bone, and it will probably tear the ballistics gel, but that's fine. It definitely went through, and it pierced the lung. I don't see any blood though. I don't even know if you guys will be able to see this, but the nail went in right there in the middle of the sternum. Hopefully you can see the head of that nail, and then it cracked it probably 2 inches up towards the top. And if you look in between these two ribs, hopefully you can see that little 18 gauge nail. It did go deep enough to puncture the lung, but not deep enough to hit any fluid. And those little brad nails have a head on them that are designed to stop overpenetration. So that would definitely suck, and it actually did better than I thought it would, but it would not be my first choice for nail gun self-defense. Let's try the Ramset. And we'll start with a green 22 blank. If this isn't powerful enough, then we'll get out the yellow one, but I think it will be. And again, I'm gonna put it right on the sternum, and we'll see what happens. The Ramset has a piston that pushes that nail down the barrel, and one thing I've noticed is if it hits something soft enough, it will just force the entire barrel into the target, and that is exactly what happened here. So you can see where that one went in, and that is quite the difference from our first nail gun. There's about a 1-inch hole going straight through the sternum, and God only knows where that nail ended up. Once again, no fluid. There might not be blood sacs in that part of the torso because I have no doubt that that nail went several inches deep. And I don't want to do this, but I might have to hit it one more time just to try and get some blood because I know it's capable. Would it be my first choice? No, but the Ramset absolutely could work in a pinch for self-defense because that thing got more than enough penetration. So maybe some of these action movies are not lying to us. All right, we're going again, and I'm gonna try to hit the lung and just see what happens. It's probably gonna tear the ballistics gel, but that one went more than deep enough as well. Let's try a yellow 22 blank. I'm determined to get blood. I'm gonna hit it at an angle. That just shattered his rib cage. There we go. Yeah, these are just blowing straight through the bone and into the organ. Let's try it down a little lower and see what happens. Oh yeah. So that was our very first one to actually draw fluid from the nail itself, and I just wanted to prove that point. But you guys can probably see what's going on here. Every single one of these nails is going inches into the torso. It's breaking bone. We've got like 4 broken ribs up here. The sternum is just completely shattered. Unfortunately, the barrel poked through the ballistics gel when I tried to press right there. Again, this is not real skin. It is just ballistics gel. And now that we stood him up, you can kind of see the damage a little bit better, and he's dripping all over the table. But if we go around to the back, I want to show you guys this. And I believe this was the second nail that we shot, but if you look closely in between those 2 ribs, you can see that that nail almost went all the way through that torso. It went through the ribs, through the lung, and stopped about a ½ inch or less from that rear shoulder blade. We have another one right here that went through the rib cage in the front, through the liver, out the other side, and then actually penetrated a rib on the back. That is incredible. There are firearms I've tested that don't even get that much penetration. There's another one poking through right here that looks like it went through that left lung, and if you look at the bottom, that is the very last nail that we shot, and it's literally poking out the back of this torso. I can feel the tip of that nail with my finger. So it went through the intestines, through the blood sac, 8 inches of ballistics gel, and then still blew right through that PVC pipe. That is a lot of penetration for a freaking nail gun. Well, it sucks that the first blood draw was with the barrel of the Ramset and not an actual nail, but in the end, we did succeed. And after looking at the penetration from some of these nails, I think it's safe to say a powder-actuated nail gun would certainly be lethal. All right, guys, well, this is the part where we possibly ruin all of our favorite action movies, because in a lot of them, like the Equalizer, for instance, they are shooting nail guns at long range, and it's very effective. I think in that one, he was shooting at like 25 yards, which is probably not realistic. So I have this washer that fits right over the barrel of our nail gun. I'm gonna use that to pull back the barrel, defeat the safety, and shoot this thing from just a few inches away to see if it's even possible. I don't want to ruin the coolest scene in the movie by exposing it as BS, but we have to try it. This is probably not gonna feel good on my fingers, but let's go for it. I think that actually worked. I put that one pretty close to a previous hole, so I'm gonna move it over a little bit so you guys can see it better. That is incredible. And the first one went in right there. Hopefully you can see the head of that nail. I think that one actually went through bone and penetrated all the way down to the head of the nail. It looks like the orange collar is probably what stopped it. And the second one went in right below that rib. I was aiming for the bone, but for obvious reasons, it's kind of hard to place those shots accurately. But again, that one also penetrated a couple inches into the lung and even the orange collar and the head of the nail went through the ballistics gel, so it hit pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, that is a lot better than I thought it would do. This ballistics gel is pretty dense and tough to penetrate, but again, we were at point blank range. Once you get back to 5, 10, 15 feet, number one, a nail is not even gonna fly straight enough to hit a target at that range, and if it did, it's definitely not gonna penetrate. But that was actually not bad. All right, we'll go ahead and try one from 4 or 5 feet. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but oh, that hurts so bad. Well, I just can't seem to get away from that spot right there in the middle. What can I say? All my shots gravitate towards bullseye center mass, but even though it hit a very compromised spot on the torso, it still went completely sideways and did not penetrate. These nails are obviously not rifled or designed to fly through the air straight like that. So on the slow-mo, it looks like it actually did hit pretty hard, but it was probably tumbling through the air and went completely sideways before it even hit the torso, which is kind of what I expected. All right, guys, well, the weather went from perfect to absolutely terrible in less than an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Nail guns versus human torso. This was a very interesting test. I would say the movies are definitely somewhat unrealistic. I'm sure we all kind of knew that, but a powder actuated nail gun like this could absolutely be lethal and maybe even effective in a self-defense pinch, just not from 20 feet away. It's probably either point blank or nothing at all. Lethal Weapon got it right. The Equalizer, not so much, but it's still an awesome movie. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments below, and if there's any other nail gun videos you would like to see, let me know down there as well. I always enjoy getting these things out, and I look forward to doing more videos in the future. If you did like the video, hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.